Hello! And welcome to Chef Made Easy. Today we will be doing some pancakes or crepes because pancakes are small and fat and crepes is what we're going to be doing is big, thin and big. So the first step is to make some batter. That's right, we're going to be using 3 eggs to make this. Ta-ta! Now, do not use a beater because we don't want to make any foam. Instead, use something like this. Gently break the 3 yolks. Then just stir around. Try to avoid making any foam because quite simply by making foam you make bubbles and you don't want your crepes to have bubbles because bubbles mean holes in your crepes. Next step, add 2 tablespoons of sugar. And mix the sugar finely with the egg. Once again, avoid making any foam. And then add 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of filtered water. Mix obviously. Then we take a cup of flour and add it very slowly to the mixture, constantly mixing. You want to make sure it dissolves very gradually. If you see any bits of flour clogging up together, just crush them and keep stirring. And now to make them firm and elastic, we add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And now it's time for the secret ingredient. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You may wish to tamper with this batter recipe. For example, if you don't like the smell of eggs in your pancakes, you may add 2 eggs instead of 3. Also, if you would like your crepes to be even more firm and elastic, then add even more cornstarch to the batter. And let's fire it up. We're going to be using this giant frying pan and this large plate to make the pancakes or crepes. Let's put the batter over here, make sure there's no sediment. You will need a scoopula to deliver the batter to the frying pan, and you will need a spatula with a wide and thin blade so you can turn the pancakes over. And since you added 2 tablespoons of oil to the batter, we will no longer need to re-oil the pan. Once the frying pan is hot enough, grab about this much of batter and spread it out like this by tilting the pan. Now what you want to wait for is for all the moisture on the surface of the crepe to dry off. And flip it like so. Once you flip it, don't try to move it immediately because it will still stick. Wait a little bit and then it'll start moving on its own. Wait a little more and it will be done. Great, now let's make some more. As you can see, the edges are really thin. At this point, before they get too dry, you might want to carefully detach them with a spatula. Usually sliding it along does just fine. After a while, you will see that the edges are really dry and annoyingly crispy. This is done to avoid that. If it crumbles like so, wait a little bit as I said, and then move it. It will spread out easily. Now you can spread the batter in many kinds of ways. For example, you can use one of these things. They don't sell them in the store, so this one I had to make myself. Just be sure to always dip it into water. I will demonstrate how to use it with this last crepe. Now pour the batter into the center and spread it out. Very gently. Keep doing it until everything solidifies, and gently watch the middle. Why would you want to use this stick? Well, it prevents the edges from being thin, like over here. But you shouldn't worry about that too much. Give these crepes a little bit of time, and those hard edges will soften. Wow! Ta-da! Now let me show you some things that I've omitted from the cooking video. These are the first 2 crepes. As you can see, they're pretty mangled. Hello, Will. And flip it So the lesson here is not to worry, because the first couple crepes will always be bad, unless you're very good. But you gotta understand that the frying pan needs some time to achieve the right temperature. And look at them, they're so thin, no holes. Delish. Of course, pancakes, or crepes, are part of many delicious meals, some of which I will show you in other videos. Stay tuned!
Yes, yummy pancakes.